Good evening, friends. Today, I would like to talk about the role of maintenance engineers in troubleshooting. Many times when you are working as a maintenance engineer, also the process people would come to you and say, "So my equipment is having some problem." For example, they are running the air compressors. Air compressor is a centrifugal compressors. They will come and to say to you that there is a lot of noise is coming from the compressors, and please can you check and see what is the problem. So in that case, what do you do? You cannot say that, oh, what is the problem, and where you are seeing the problem, what is the indications. The first thing you would like to do as a troubleshooter of any problem, you will visit the plant, you will visit the site, you will visit the equipment, and you have to check the operating conditions. I mean, there are operating conditions which are known as a normal operating conditions for a particular machines and abnormal operating conditions. So for to have a look on the operating conditions, you will see the log sheets the operator are maintaining, or you can say have a dashboard, or wherever you want to go in the control room, or the data you can say I note it on the log sheets. I mean, whatever the system is there, and you talk to operator why he is feeling that there is a problem. Once you understand what they are talking about, then you have to go to the actual site and where the machine is running, and based upon your you can say understanding of the machine, you will see in each and every data whatever it is coming, whether it is from the local panel or whether it is coming from you can say a control board. And you see and roam about and take the round of the machine, and you will know what are the normal noises are coming, what are the normal data is coming, what are the you can say normal behavior of machine is there. If you are you can say experienced of such type of machine, you will simply know which type of problem is coming. For example, there may be noise coming from the you can say motor, noise coming from the bearing, noise coming from the you can say fan, or if the compressor is surging, it will have a different noise. Surge noise is you can say cyclic noise is there. Even you will have a different type of noises that are connected with the vibration problem. Suppose if you are having bearing, anti-friction bearing, it will have a different noise, and some noises are coming from the leakage also. For example, in the steam turbine case, in a small turbine which is running the you can say pump, or which is the you can say driving equipment for the pump, the steam turbine might be having the leakage from the gland, or you can say from any other joint. So you will have the rise of the steam, and depending upon the temperature and the quality of the steam, the noise also will be different. So in the leakage also you can have a noise. If the air is leaking, you will have a different noise. Whether heat exchanger is leaking, or you can say any component is leaking, that will be you can correlate in a similar way. For example, if you are having any problem in the reciprocating compressors, they have a different type of noises. In the normal conditions, they will have a different type of noises. When the condition is abnormal, for example, if there is some problem in the pressures, on a first stage pressure or second stage pressure or temperature, or safety valve is popping, pressure is getting high in the second stage. So those are all things you will see and note it down, and you will see that there is some relation with the problem and the operating conditions. So this is the way you are doing the troubleshooting of any problem. Once you see the things in perspectives, you can say comparing the things, and knowing what are the you can say failure chances of a particular machine, failure modes in operating condition. For example, in the centrifugal pump, you will have the noise of the cavitation that is typically different. You can recognize whether pump is getting cavitated or not. It is a type of you can say hammering noise is there. So in a similar way, depending upon the type of problems, you will have, suppose there is a temperature, low while temperature is high, so there will be low while circuit from, you can say, suction to discharge. There will be low while pump, whether this low oil pump, main oil pump is having any leakage, or some gear noise is coming. Generally most of the pump installed on the line of the pump, or you can say any other equipment, steam and all that, they are, you can say, part of the machine. They are installed at the end of the shaft of the machine. So those, you can say, connections, those noises, those, you can say, things, you will typically know from which component the problem is coming. In a similar way, when the problem is electrical, so electrical problems are different in a motor, whether it is coming from the bearing, or it is a noise because of the some looseness is there. So once you are, you can say, knowing about it, all those different type of problems of different type of machines, after some time you will be, you can say, experienced, and what you call, you will be expert to identify from the source of the problem, from where the problem is coming. For example, if the suction pressure is low, or some cavitation is coming, or maybe the strainer may be dirty, maybe in the oil lubrication systems filters are dirty, those things will be shown to you when you are seeing the physically all the parameters related to the, you can say, circuit of the lube oil, related to the gas circuit. For example, in the surging, you will have type of rhythmical sound, and sometimes blow up will pop up. In another cases, in the reciprocating cases, the safety valve will be popping up. So in a nutshell, after 1 or 2 hours, when you are going to the site and visiting the equipment, you will know what is the source. Now the second step is that even if you don't know the source, or you are not pinpointing the problem, what else you can do? You take the some measures, like taking the vibration of the whole machine. That should be the another step. And in case some you feel that there is a problem related to the temperature and lube oil, you can take the sample also. So these 2-3 steps you have to do immediately to, you can say, understand what may be the problem. In a such way, you will have some idea, and never get panic. You need not to be heavy panic, because you don't know from which date, or you can say for how many days and duration this problem is coming. It has been noticed by first time, which operator and when, whether it is a night problem, whether it is a day problem. These things you have to analyze. So I will say that until unless there is a problem, you can say, of the alarm or tripping, or you can say the machine automatically gets stopped because of the production, you need not to be worried too much. You have to study the problem, see what is the source of the problem, from where it may be coming. You can take some measurements like the vibration measurement, you can have analysis. For the noise also, you can have a vibration. So all these things are related, and sometimes you will find that some machines are habituated to create some problem after loading them beyond their whatever their capacity is there. Or you can have a trending of those equipments which are developing the problems. They are not so severe, but at least they are developing the problem. So once you are concluding what is the criticality of the machine, what is the criticality of the process, what is the criticality of the problem, then you can decide what is to be done, whether it is to be trended, or whether it is to be more data are to be taken. So in similar manner, you can wait, and whatever time you get, you should have a, you can say, backup for, suppose if you want to shut down the machine, shut down the pump, or shut down the compressor, you should have a necessary spares. For example, if you are having a doubting problem in the bearing of the motor, so you should have a spare located for the bearings, and you see the condition of the bearings to be replaced, and you should be ready, or you can plan also your manpower when the problem is to be taken up, whether you want to replace the bearing at the site itself or you want to send it to the workshop. So those things are to be coordinated. In another way, you should be ready for if the problem gets aggravated, I mean if the problem gets increased. When you are that mode, that you will have in a planned manner, you can have a shutdown of the any machine. That will make you can say less panicky, and in a planned manner, and better way of managing your failure means whatever, whether it is increased vibration, whether it is increased leakage or noise, or you can say replacement of any components. So troubleshooting, what I would consider is a skill. You have to practice again and again and see that how it is done. All the systems, whether the air systems or fluid systems or mechanical seal systems, those are to be studied in a separate way, and they should be pinpointed. I mean it should be considered in an isolated way. You have to analyze, study and take the measurements. So I am confident that once you know your equipment, you are analyzing, you have all the data and you have a planning, so there will be, you can say, easiness in making the decisions. Sometimes if you don't have any idea of the machine, you don't have any data, or you are not knowing what is the problem, you will unnecessarily shut down the machine, and the production loss will be there, and there will be, you can say, halla walla, to everybody, you can say top management, and they will question you, and they will more focus in the questioning you rather solving the problem. So troubleshooting is a skill you have to develop slowly and slowly as a maintenance engineer, and after some times, once you are taking very much interest, what is the source of problem, how it will be solved, and how it is a you can say job is completed and how it is rectified. After experiencing some events, after experiencing some, you can say, incidents, you will be having, you can say, a better control about your problem of the machines or any equipment or any systems. So that's all from my side today. I don't know whether you would like to this video or not, but my viewpoint was that troubleshooting is a important skill for the maintenance engineer, and he should practice in any way to have a more and more controlling and solving the problems in his area. That's all from my side today. Thank you very much.